At December 11th, 2008, Bernie Madoff walks into his Manhattan office knowing his world is about to collapse. For 20 years, he had been running the largest Ponzi scheme in history. $65 billion of investor money, all fake. But here's what's terrifying. Some of the smartest people on Wall Street gave him their life saving. Today, I'm gonna show you exactly how he did it, the psychological tricks he used, and most importantly, how to spot these schemes before they destroy your financial future. Because what I'm about to reveal will change how you look at every investment opportunity forever. Bernie wasn't some random scammer, he was the former chairman of NASDAQ, a respected Wall Street legend. When someone like that promises steady 10 to 12% returns every year, people listen. But that's exactly what made it so dangerous. He didn't promise 50% or 100% returns like obvious scams, just enough to make you think you'd found the holy grail of investing. Here's how it worked. Sarah invests $100,000 with Bernie. She gets her monthly statement showing steady growth. After a year, she wants to withdraw $20,000. Bernie pays her using Mike's new $100,000 investment. Mike gets paid from the next victim and so on. It's musical chairs with money. And when the music stops, everyone loses everything except the person running the scheme. But why did smart people fall for this? Bernie understood human psychology better than most therapists. First, he used exclusivity. You couldn't just invest with Bernie, you had to be invited. He turned down more people than he accepted. This created a psychological phenomenon called scarcity bias. And when something is hard to get, we automatically assume it's more valuable. Second, he targeted the right people. Not random individuals, but wealthy investors who would bring their friends. When your successful neighbor tells you about this amazing investment opportunity, you're more likely to trust it than some random advertising. This is called social proof. We follow the crowd, especially when the crowd is successful. Third, Bernie never had a bad year. While the stock market crashed in 2000 and 2002, Bernie's fund kept making money. This should have been a red flag, but instead it made him seem like a genius. People thought he had some secret strategy that could beat any market condition. The paperwork looked perfect. Professional statements, detailed transaction records, everything seemed legitimate. But here's the shocking truth. Bernie wasn't actually investing the money at all. He was just moving it around, paying old investors with new investor money and keeping detailed fake records to make it look real. By 2008, Bernie needed $7 billion in withdrawals, but only had $300 million in the bank. The math finally caught up. When he confessed to his sons, they immediately called the FBI. The next morning, federal agents arrested him at his penthouse apartment. The victims weren't just random people. Elie Wiesel lost his entire foundation's money. Steven Spielberg lost millions. Entire charities went bankrupt overnight. One investor, Thierry de la Villouche, was so devastated that he took his own life in his Manhattan office. But here's what's really disturbing. The warning signs were everywhere. Harry Markopolos, a financial analyst, had been trying to expose Bernie for 9 years. He sent detailed reports to the SEC showing that Bernie's returns were mathematically impossible. The SEC ignored him every time. Bernie's strategy was too consistent. Real investments have ups and downs. But Bernie claimed to make money in bull markets, bear markets, and sideways markets. That's impossible unless you have inside information or you're not actually investing in it. So how do you spot the next Bernie Madoff? First, be suspicious of consistent returns. If someone claims they can make 10% every year regardless of market conditions, run. Real investments fluctuate. Second, watch out for exclusivity. If someone says this opportunity isn't for everyone or I can only take a few select investors, that's a red flag. Legitimate investments don't need to create artificial scarcity. Third, demand transparency. Bernie's investors never really understood his strategy. He claimed to use a split strike conversion strategy, but when experts analyzed it, the math didn't work. If you can't understand how your money is being invested, don't invest. Fourth, verify everything independently. Bernie provided his own statements, his own audits, his own records. Never trust an investment where the same person controls all the documentation. Finally, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Bernie promised steady returns with no risk. In investing, risk and return are always connected. High returns require high risk. Anyone promising high returns with no risk risk is lying. Bernie Madoff died in prison in 2021, but his victims are still suffering. Many lost their entire life savings and will never recover. The lesson isn't just about avoiding Ponzi schemes, it's about understanding human psychology and how it affects our financial decisions. We want to believe in shortcuts. We want to think there's some secret strategy that can beat the market without risk, but there isn't. Successful investing requires patience, diversification, and accepting that some years you'll lose money. The most dangerous scams don't look like scams. They look like opportunities. They come from people we trust, people who seem successful, people who promise exactly what we want to hear. Before you invest anywhere, ask yourself, am I being promised something that sounds too perfect? Am I being pressured to act quickly? Do I fully understand where my money is going and how it's being invested? Bernie's scheme worked because people stopped asking these questions. They trusted reputation over reality, promises over proof. Your financial future depends on staying skeptical, especially when everyone else seems convinced.